Oh, oh man, oh man, oh man. What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over social media at GBP Daily, and if you are not already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. Dog57, I am here to make you feel better, all right? We're not going to ignore what happened just a little bit ago. But we're going to go through it, and we're going to get through it, and then we are going to turn the page. But it is Sunday, January 5th, and for the second week in a row, the Packers have lost to a division opponent, finishing 1-5 against the NFC North this year. It's hard to believe that we went 1-5 against the North, lost our final two games of the season, and we are still going to the playoffs. With how poorly today's game went, we are still playoff bound, so it is not all terrible, but let's do ourselves a little venting here and dive into the game today. Packers lose 24-22 on a last-second field goal. From the beginning, the Packers offense looked stale, like they have, honestly, for the majority of the season. We've all been waiting for them to find some sort of rhythm this year, and we just have not seen it. Jaden Reed fumbles the ball on the end around. Malik Willis fumbles the ball on a massive hit from a free rushing defender that he did not see, unfortunately, and 22 total points against this Bears defense. Just not good enough. So some injury updates. Jordan Love is good to go for next weekend. He left the game today with an elbow injury, said after the game just a few minutes ago that he was feeling a little numbness, but he's good to go for the Eagles game next weekend. Christian Watson, he went down with a non-contact injury to his knee. Did not look good. Had his hand over his face while he was on the cart heading to the locker room. Coach LaFleur even said after the game that he was not confident about him moving forward. So I would imagine that he is done for the year. And if it turns out that it is some sort of long-term injury, he could be missing some time next year as well. So without further ado, let's hop into the comment section here. And as always, the Nicolet Law hotline is now live. If you want to be a part of the show, you got a Packers comment, a Packers question, a Packers complaint, I'd love to hear from you. Give me a call. The number is on the screen, 319-242-2332. On the Nicolet Law hotline, I would love to hear from you. The chat is firing up. Let's go back to the top here. Justin, why were we playing cover 3? That last play defensively was brutal, right? Javon Bullard, Xavier McKinney, 30 yards off the ball, 20 yards, 15 yards past the line to gain to be in field goal range for the Bears. No idea what the call was. No idea why those guys were back there. It was terrible. That's all there is to it on that one. Rakeem, my man, I'm beyond frustrated, not just with the coaching staff, but with the overall performance of the team. We have 1 week to get our heads in the game, or else the Eagles game will be a pig slaughter. I hope that's not the case, right? We've got 1 week, and as of right now, the game is slated for Sunday at noon. But that could change. But as of right now, the game is slated for Sunday at noon. That could change. So don't take me for my word there. But that's what they have it at right now. Well, Rakeem, I'm with you. The offense looked terrible. The defense pretty much gave them whatever they wanted to in the second half, outside of some turnovers. The defensive performance on the final drive was awful. They had, 54 seconds to get in field goal range, and Kingsley Enagbare, who had a terrible decision that he made against Caleb Williams. He should have just let him go out of bounds. He should have just let him throw the ball away, but instead he tackles him by the horse collar, which is the most obvious mistake that you could make. So not good. But yeah, they get the job done, and we did. So tough sledding there. What else we got going on here? Yosef, what kind of defense was that on the last play of the game? Yosef, I'll tell you, terrible defense. Javon Bullard, Xavier McKinney were literally 30 yards down the field. So at that point, it's 11 Bears players versus 9 Packers players on the play of the game. Carrington Valentine had no help against DJ Moore. And yeah, he easily catches that for 20 yards to set them up for the game-winning field goal. Just brutal by Jeff Hafley in the defense there. So Yosef, yeah, terrible defense and embarrassing to watch, really. You would have liked to have those guys be at least 10 or 15 yards off the ball, not 30. But yeah, that was not the case. And Caleb Williams and the Bears offense trotted right down the field and easily gets into field goal range. When our defense needs a stop at the end of the game, I literally cannot remember a time that they got the stop that we needed. It just sucks. So last weekend it didn't happen against the Vikings, didn't happen against the Lions. All games that were winnable, but they were put in our defense's hands. And in Packer fashion, Jeff Hafley, Joe Barry, it doesn't matter who's back there. So they couldn't get it done, which just sucks. But it is what it is, right? Phil, over assistant coach and special teams coach Rich Bisaccia, spitting nails here, clown show, fundamentals every dang game. Rich Bisaccia might be the most overpaid coach in the league. I think he's the highest paid special teams coordinator in the league. And yeah, he's assistant coach. Not sure what he does over there, but it's not good. Special teams penalties every single game. We gave up a punt return for a touchdown. The whole team got faked out. And yeah, there was a penalty to start the game on the kick return. So special teams not doing very well. The only bright side is Brandon McManus and Daniel Whelan. Both things that Rich Bisaccia doesn't have any of his hands on. So not impressed with Rich Bisaccia. That's for sure. Aaron, frustrated by Matt LaFleur's end of the half /end of the game management. Yeah, Aaron, today was a tough one in that category. He said after the game, talking about calling a timeout before the field goal and therefore giving the Bears time at the end to get into field goal range, that he was caught off guard on the sidelines, and that all falls on him. So not sure exactly what that means, but I don't know what can catch you off guard that takes, your 100% devoted attention away from the game itself. That's frustrating. It's inexcusable, and it cost us the game. Thankfully, this doesn't impact our playoff seeding. It doesn't impact whether the season ends today or not, but that can't happen next week. So I don't know. That was inexcusable by Matt LaFleur. You should have known whether you got that third down or not, which they ran the ball with 20 seconds left on the play clock, which that was a mistake as well. You should know whether you're going to hit the field goal or not. If you don't get it, have a plan. Are you going to go for it? Are you going to hit the field goal? But instead, they had to call timeout instead of running the clock down even more. It was brutal. So thank you, Yosef. Or thank you, Aaron, for hopping in. Appreciate you, my man. Haley, is Jaden Reed bad? He had another tough game today, Haley. He did go over 1,000 yards from scrimmage on the season, though. So although he did have quite quite a few drops this year. He's had 3 fumbles this year, 1 today, which is brutal. He's still produced. So, but man, we need him to clean that up badly and quick with what looks like a receiver room that will be without Christian Watson moving forward. So, all right, guys, let's get the fact of the day rolling. And it was just about a guy that we just talked about.
It's time for your Green Bay Packers Fact of the Day, brought to you by TickPick. TickPick guarantees to have the lowest prices on Packers tickets. If you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, TickPick will give you 110% of your money back. If you want $20 off your next ticket order, use the code Packers20 at checkout. That's Packers20. This promo code can only be used in the app, so be sure to download the TickPick app today.
All right, your fact of the day. Somebody we just talked about. Jaden Reed has 1,004 yards from scrimmage this year, 840 receiving yards, and 164 rushing yards. He's had some head-scratching drops, a few fumbles, 3, 1 today. But if you can clean that up moving forward, he will be back in the conversation as being a legit weapon to utilize this postseason. Shout out to Jaden Reed for, going over 1,000 yards from scrimmage this year. And shout out to TickPick. They guarantee the lowest Packers tickets priced on the market. If you can find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will give you 110% of your money back. They put their money where their mouth is. I used TickPick for the Packers-Cardinals game back in October. I used TickPick for the Packers-Dolphins game on Thanksgiving night. And I will be using TickPick for the Packers NFC Championship game, whether they go to Detroit or to Minnesota. That is yet to still be determined. But download the TickPick app. Use the code Packers20 for $20 off your order. What else we got going on? Jack, the decision on 4th down to run a jet sweep and not take the points reminds me of last week in the Niners playoff loss. Matt LaFleur needs to learn when to take that, and the slow starts kill us. Yeah, the slow starts are brutal. We saw it today. We saw it last week. We've seen it in pretty much almost every big game that we've been a part of for the latter half of this year. It's not good. We got to start fast. We were going in the right direction last week against Minnesota until Josh Jacobs fumbled. But, today was rough. Punting right off the bat. Our defense held on for a while, but you can only ask so much of them when the offense isn't doing their job on the flip side. So right there with you. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today as far as the show goes. But as you know, the content never stops. I'm always posting anything and everything Packers related all day long. So follow me at GBP Daily on every social platform. And if you are not already, I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel at GBP Daily as well. I will be back and at it again tomorrow. So I look forward to seeing you all then. And until then, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you.